Hello and welcome from the Curling Champions Tour. This weekend we are broadcasting from Basel, Switzerland, from the Swisscup men's tournament. And we will be live on laola1.tv with a total of 6 featured games today and tomorrow. We also plan to make a few interviews right after the games with the winning skip and between games with some coaches and players. So lots of things to look forward to. My name is Nicole Strausak and I'm here today with Mark Hauser. So Mark, what do you think can we expect of this tournament in Basel?
Well, also hello from my side and welcome to the Swisscup in Basel. Well, we're gonna play a triple knockout here in Basel, which is amazing system. Puts a lot of pressure to the teams as they have to win to go on. If they lose 3 times, they're gonna be out of the game. We already had a couple of surprising results in the last day, as we started yesterday on Friday, and we're gonna have the finals tomorrow on a Sunday. Well, Basel is always a little tricky. Today we have quite high outside temperatures. We had some frost on the ice, and giving us not too much swing, but giving us good control for the stones, which I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see a lot of offense games, a lot of offense stones, and pretty sure it's gonna be a good game today.
So we're going to tune into the game of Team Michel from Switzerland against Team Ulsrud from Norway. This is already the A final game of the knockout system. So we have a total of 32 teams competing here at the Swisscup in Basel. And the 2 teams we're going to see in this game, they have won their first 3 games, and with a win today in that game, they would be directly qualified for the quarterfinal on Sunday morning.
Absolutely. Both teams are unbeaten. Well, especially Team Norway had quite a direct walkthrough yesterday. They played the 3 games and played very well, played a good curling, and won the 3 games.
So we have Team Michel playing the Red Rocks and Team Ulsrud with the Yellow Rocks. It's going to be an 8-end game with 1 extra end. Actually, they're going to play only 1 extra end. If a second extra end would be needed, it's not going to be played in that phase of the tournament. It would be the team without the hammer that would win the game.
And we also have a time clock, so they have only an hour and 50 minutes to play the 7 games to start the 8th end. Otherwise, they're gonna lose the end.
So we see actually already quite an interesting first end going on. Team Ulsrud is having the hammer. To define who is having the hammer, the 2 teams played a dolly draw shot after the last game, and Team Ulsrud won that because they were drawing closer to the button than Team Michel. And we see already quite a lot of stones in play right from the first end. So I guess we can look forward to an exciting offensive game, just as you said before.
And I mean, like, there's a lot of money in the game. There's a prize money of over 40,000 Swiss francs in the pot. The winner gonna take 13,000 Swiss francs for himself. So yeah, they both are willing to win, and they look forward to get to the finals.
So we see Team Michel lying shot and second, covered behind their own center guard. There's a yellow rock in the danger zone though. Top 4 foot or in the 8 foot of Team Ulsrud. That's a stone that could be pushed up later in the game. So that is why Team Michel is now playing another guard to cover that rock that it can't be pushed up later in the game.
It's quite an aggressive start for both of the teams. I mean, like, they've not played, didn't have a training or practice today, but I think that's because of the ice, as they know it's a good quality ice, and they're gonna control. They are able to control all the stones.
Yep. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Again.
A very nice double clearing of Team Norway. They now try to clear the center up as they're having last stone. They want to make sure that they have at least one side open for a draw at the end to save the end. So that was a very nice double clearing shot there from Team Ulsrud.
They got a little too hot having two opponents in the center and having a lot of guards in front. So they try to clean up now to keep in control and to be able to make at least the one at the end. Nicely placed guard.
For lavt, så ser best ut. For lavt ser best ut. Over nesa! Klippe den der!
Yeah, see, he's not sure if he should go on the attack or if he should open up, but he took the call to do the split again.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That stone didn't work out at all because first of all it stayed as a center guard itself, and it took the own yellow stone out of the 8 foot. That was, as I said before, a chance to be pushed up later on in the game, so that's a real complete miss.
Yeah. If Michel is able to put his second guard now, it's going to be a lot of pressure and very dangerous for the Ulsrud team.
Yeah, we're up at skip rocks already, so Sven Michel is going to play his first rock. And with another nicely played guard, he can really put on the pressure to Team Norway. That's always a bit the danger if you start out very offensive in the first game, in the first end. Maybe you're not quite sure about the ice conditions yet, and the chance of misses is just that bit higher. So if you do go out quite aggressive, you need to make sure that you're able to play the stones.
That's definitely the danger, but on the other hand side, you have 7 ends to correct your mistake, so it's going to be a long game then.
That's more and more a strategy you see with a lot of men's team, that they go out quite aggressive already from the first end on to take advantage on that maybe the other team is not 100% ready yet with the ice condition, and maybe capitalize on a steal or on a big score when you have the hammer.
Absolutely. And the more the ice conditions gets so perfect, so controllable, the more they're going to start very offensive from the beginning, as they don't need to practice and they don't need to learn how the ice runs, because it's so easy, so controllable. A long discussion for a first end.
Yeah, we see the team group together already and discussing the different options. My Norwegian is not so good that I understand what they are discussing. Maybe you can help out, Mark.
So is mine. Can't even understand the word. But maybe some Norwegians that are watching Lola TV might send us an email explaining us what they are talking about, or posting something on Facebook where we have our profile, which is Curling Champions Tour. You might comment there or send us even a question for now or for for the interviews in the middle times.
So they decided for other double clearing. They want to hit the red stone on the left side and
open up the house so they get a chance to do something with their last rocket at the end of the end.
They hit the red rock just a bit too thin. They were hoping to push the yellow rock into the house or completely out of the way, so they managed to do that. So Team Adelboden is just going to play another guard. They're discussing now how close to the house the guard should be, or if they should even play it into the 12-foot area.
Well, if you play it in the 12-foot, you have even more pressure, as you have 3 stones in the house, which might count at the end. But I would say it was okay to play the stone the Norwegians played before, because now it's quite difficult to close both sides for Team Michel.
Yeah, I would say biting the 12-foot should be the longest way, in my opinion. It could also just be a guard. It could be in the 12-foot, but it shouldn't be any deeper, because if you play it any deeper, you just open up the possibility for a fast takeout where Team Norway can take 2 or even 3 of the red rocks out of the game. So the sweepers
seems to be a little long.
Yeah, the sweepers are telling the Swisscup how long the stone is going to be. They said 8 or top 4 foot, and that is actually where the stone is going to sit down, fully in the 8 foot. So let's see what Team Ulsrud is going to decide on their last rock.
Yeah, this mistake allows them now to play an easy double takeout and stay, which would lead in a 1 for Norway.
Ganske på den første for å doble også, da. Så vi må spille 11. Jeg tror ikke du må da, du får spunnet den ganske bra. Ja. Ok, 11.
He wants to hit the rock fully on the nose. Like that he has a chance to stay shot rock with his own rock.
And to remove the 2 red ones. Well, 2 for red.
It was just curling a bit too much. So that's why it is a steal of 2 for Team Michel in the first end.
Always tricky to play along the line, as stones might curl a little more, a little less, and this showed it's not always as easy as it seems, leading to 2 for Team Michel and giving them a good position to start for the next 7 ends then.
Altan-pillen du satte ganske mye, gjorde du ikke?
Først så gikk jeg skikkelig inn i.
Ja, det kølla litt allikevel.
Ja, den kølla ikke mye.
So, as we start the second end, we're just going to introduce the two teams to you. First, we start with Team Michel. Simon Gempeler is playing lead. He's 26 years old and he's been on the team for quite some years. Sandro Trollier, second player. He's also in the team since several years. The whole team is actually playing out of Curling Club Adelboden. Claudia Patz has joined the team last season. He's playing third position and is wise skipping. And Sven Michel, the skip of the team. They had actually quite a good last season. They were representing Switzerland at the European Championship, finishing sixth and were third at the Swiss Championship. And for this season, they have found Robbie Hürlimann as coach. He's new on the team. He's a very experienced player himself. He has been playing competitively up to the last season, and with him they have for sure a very good person helping them along and coaching them to reach all the big goals they have. They really want to qualify for the European Championships again and would like to become Swiss champion this year.
Also, Team Norway was playing the Europeans. They won there, so we have the actual European champion playing against Team Michel. Lead is Harvard Vod Pettersen, followed by second Christopher Sve, 30 years old player. They all are playing a lot together, or long time together already. They have a third Torge Nergard. It's more or less it's the same team formation they played at the Olympics in Vancouver 2010, where they finished up second. And skip Thomas Ulsrud playing fourth, 40 years old man. One of the oldest, I would say, on the World Curling Tour, and being coached by Ole Ingvaldsen, that's been looking for the team, I would say, a long time since. Team Norway might be known for their trousers they had at the Olympics. Quite a funny team, always ready for a good joke, and absolutely to have some fun if you play against them or if you can watch them playing.
Yeah, their pants really are quite colorful and exciting. They actually have a Facebook site just for their pants with almost 10,000 followers already. I'm not sure if their team website has as many followers, but that's quite remarkable. But of course both teams have team websites, they have Facebook pages, so go out and check them out. You find a lot of information on there about the team members, about their season plan, about the results they achieved so far. So quite a lot of interesting stuff, and also possibility to be interactive with the teams.
That's quite a nice story about their pants. As they just were looking for pants for the Olympics for the team with the country colors, blue and red. So they decided to take these pants, and after the Olympics they had so much fans that the pant builder went to them and got them a big sponsoring deal. So they're now always wearing these fancy, I think they're golfer pants. Let's come back to the game, as a couple of rocks have been played. Norway having their shot, well, not too close to the middle.
Team Ulsrud again with the hammer, and we saw Team Michel starting right away again with a center guard. So they want to keep on the pressure. Team Norway was playing a corner guard. They want to try to draw the game to the side this time and not to have too many stones in the center of the game. And they succeeded that. At the moment they have a nice corner guard and one stone buried behind and actually lying with 2 rocks at the moment.
And with these ice conditions, they are fully able to come to the forefoot with the last stone from both sides. So I think the strategy is on the way as they planned it.
Senteren, eller?
Det er nødt til å rulle!
Ja, jeg liker det. På linje med den andre. Dere fikk jo en hunch på min, da.
I was just checking on the results of the first 2 tournaments of the Curling Champions Tour this season. We started in Baden, at the Baden Masters at the beginning of September. That was the first tournament of the Curling Champions Tour, and actually Team Michel won that tournament for the second time in a row. They were defending champion and managed to win the tournament again. Team Ulsrud didn't qualify for the playoffs, but Team Ulsrud afterwards played the Radisson Blue tournament in Oslo, where they actually lost the semi-final. So had quite a good tournament there. Team Michel wasn't playing that. They were over in Canada. They played a couple of tournaments there. And now we're in the 3rd out of 7 tournaments of the Men's Curling Champions Tour here in Basel. The current standing after 2 tournaments. Sven Michel is on 2nd position. Niklas Edin is in top position as he was winning the Radisson Blue competition. And Thomas Ulsrud's team at the moment is on 8th place. So they're looking forward to some cash and some points. I'm sure they're both really going out for the win in this game.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good start for Team Norway in this season, but I think they had some practice in the last weeks and they are willing to win the prize money this weekend, which must be one of the highest in the World Curling Tour. It's a pot of 40,000 Swiss francs and 13 for the winner to take home.
I think it's also one of the biggest tournaments concerning amounts of teams, with 32 teams. Like the Baden Master was with 20 teams. Of course, that's only possible because Basel is a 8-sheet curling rink. It's quite a special facility for those who haven't been here before. It's actually the game we're seeing now is within the main curling hall with 5 rinks, 5 sheets, and 1 floor below is another curling rink with 3 different sheets of ice. So it's actually 2 curling halls within the same building.
And on the 5 sheet, or in the bigger building, there's even a small practice sheet, which is just 2 meters on the side, where you could play a couple of stones, but you can't play a game as there are no houses painted there. At the tournament, it's mainly used to store some equipment, but for the evening hours, it's quite nice. You can slide, and yeah, you can't really play stones as it's too small, but at least you can slide and work on your technique.
So Armin Harder, who is the director of the Curling Champions Tour, but also the ice maker here in Basel, he's going to be in the commentary box tomorrow, and I'm sure he's going to give you some information about how he's handling here the ice making with that speciality of 2 curling rinks in one building. So Team Ulsrud is under big pressure again. 4 red rocks lying in the house, 1 fully buried behind the center guard. He wants to make sure that he's scoring 1 in this end.
Ja! 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 Hardt! Hard på linja! Hard!
Swinging a lot.
Jeg får inn 2'eren, eller 3'eren i hvert fall.
He just curled a fraction too much again. The length was perfect to push that stone just a little bit behind the tee line, but it was touching the guard and thus giving the opportunity to Team Michel to play another stone right into the house, freeze on the shot rock, or maybe just fully in the 8-foot.
They could just play a guard to close the house and take the stone or take the point. But I think they like to play it a little longer, maybe top of the 4-foot. So they might steal 2 if Ulsrud is touching the guards again.
12 is gut. Ist auch gut. Vor 12.
That's what they just said. Front 12 would be okay, but they prefer to have it in the front 4.
Exactly, that was quite a nice example of team communication and to make sure that everyone knows exactly what is plan A and what is plan B. So to be aware, a little short is okay. They don't want it too deep into the house. And like that also the sweepers know exactly what their job is going to be with that stone.
Geil, zu viel. Ziehen! Gempiane! Ziehen!
So we heard Claudio Pat saying the stone is curling too much.
Oh, geil, zu viel. Schon gut, Lillo.
It had the perfect length, but overcurled a little. So leading to the possibility for Team Norway to play on the shot directly, making them the life a little easier. But still, it's not an easy shot.
Of course, it's more open now, as with his first rock, Thomas hit the yellow guard a bit. So the stone is, I guess, 1/2 to 3/4 open. I guess he's going to play just about the same length as before to push the shot rock maybe 30 centimeters behind the tee line and lie shot rock with the playing stone.
Yeah, maybe a little faster to give him more control and not to let it curl too much.
Whoa!
Seems to have a good line.
Head back.
It's coming. Oh, seems to be a little bit outside. Too much outside then. Didn't curl that many.
It seems to be a tricky spot and depending very much on the weight. If you're a bit lighter, it's curling quite a bit there, and this one with the backline length just stayed quite straight.
Yeah. I should have listened to you, Nicole.
Just playing the same length again.
Yeah, but it wasn't fast enough to remove the red stone, so led to 2 reds, which now is going to be a score of 4-0 for the Swiss team. It's not a very comfortable situation for the Norways.
It's going to be interesting to see if Team Norway can recover from that bad start. Quite interesting to see when you look at them now. They're not standing together immediately. Everyone was a bit hanging on to their thoughts, it seemed. But of course it's a very experienced team, so they had many of these situations before where they were down with a couple of stones, or like here with even 4 stones and coming back into the game. But usually it's very good if you try to stay focused, also come together as a team, maybe quickly discuss what went wrong in that end, what did everybody see with the ice condition, where do they need to adapt a few things, regroup, and then make a clear end plan for the next end and get back into the game.
And don't forget, there's still 6 ends to go, so there might be happening a lot. But it also seems that Team Michel changed their tactic now. They played directly to the house, probably trying to walk into a takeout game, removing as many yellow stones as possible. But of course, because of the free guard zone, the yellows can't put a couple of guards without being removed.
That is exactly the end plan Team Adelboden is aiming for. They're going to tell themselves it would be great if Team Norway has to score 1, if they can force them to a 1. Like that they would have the hammer in the next end. They don't want to go out and steal in this end. They just would like to have control in the end, not too many stones hanging around, and as you said, removing all the yellow stones. So as soon as they can, they will start to remove the corner guards of Team Ulsrud.
Yeah, but Team Ulsrud's experienced enough to not care about these 2 red stones that are in the middle or in the center of the house. They just put another guard to have as many stones in the game as possible for the final of the end.
That is actually the danger for Team Ulsrud. They're 4 rocks down, and they need to start to take risks. So they need to find a good mix in that end, not taking too much risks, because they can't afford another steal. They need to make sure that they get on the scoreboard now. So they can't leave too many red rocks hanging around again. So I think it's the right time to attack the stones in the center of the house now of Team Michel. They have actually a double corner guard now that they can use to remove red stones and roll behind to the corner guards.
Yeah, and as there are some tricky spots on the ice, doesn't make life easier if you need to take risks, because you can go the wrong side.
That was just a very nice rock, removing the red stone, and rolling behind the corner guard.
Team Michael now try to remove these stones, even try to play a double probably, but ended up with a center guard. Not their best idea, I would say.
Litt usikker på det weight, men hva tror du om 70 nå?
Du ganske bra utover for Håvard.
Ja, det var det mine har blitt bra. Egentlig bare de Torger som har vært ekstreme på skrutt. Nå skal vi jo ut igjen. Vi prøver 70 et eller annet. 70 er 75. Det er litt, kjennes som litt skummelt. Fin linje, hold den oppe!
Farta virker ikke gæren.
Fin linje, hold den i gang! Hold den i gang, linja er helt strøken. Linja er der! Linja er helt strøken. Kan du skifte litt hvis du kan? Skifte litt hvis du kan. La han dra nå, la han dra.
Må hjem innsida. Må hjem innsida.
Det er bra spill. Den trodde jeg skulle køle mye mer, med tanke på...
So Team Ulsrud was just aiming for a angle freeze on the shot rock. It just slid 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters too deep into the house. As it lays at the moment, it is removable.
Okay. Yeah.
I think if they're gonna or like to remove the yellow stone, they also gonna move their own red stone.
Stoser! Stoser! Hvor har du gjort av kosten min nå? Jeg har den her. Det er bare en sånn på banen. Nei, jeg bytte da, for jeg var så slengt litt. Tror ikke vi skal gjøre det så fancy. De ligger på linje. Slå på den og rulle dit.
Nei.
Vant opp! Rent! Vant! Rent! Vant!
Wow!
Wow! Wow! Vant! Wow! Rent!
Wow! 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 Wow!
Litt solid!
Wow!
Torg Norgard trying to remove the red one. And stays in the house. So now the situation changed a little. Team Norway with a 3, yeah, probably 3 in the house.
Willem Händel. Ich muss viel Händel geben. Ja, dann ist gut.
Now Team
Ja.
Michel tries to remove at least one, hopefully 2.
They're discussing the angles, discussing if the double takeout is possible.
Probably they're gonna play with a lot of spin.
I'm not sure if they really are they playing the double or are they playing the hit and roll?
I thought they trying the double.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's neither nor. It was a nose hit. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, well, probably what Thomas Ulsrud was hoping for, as this is giving him an easy shot. An easy hit and roll, a little to the left-hand side.
He would like to spread his own rocks as far apart as possible in the house to make doubles and triples as difficult as possible for Team Michel. He's going to try to roll to the side to bring the two shot rocks basically on the same height.
Wow! 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 Snappe mykere! Ja! Hardt! Hardt! Hack! Hardt! Bare hack nå! Hardt, 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 hardt! Så ruller litt helt annen fart. Ja, den bremser mer.
They also didn't quite manage what they were trying to do. So I'm sure now he's really fully going for the double takeout.
Absolutely. Yeah, now checking the biting stones, the red and the yellow one. Not sure which one is better, but Pets seems to think that the yellow one is a little better. So it means if they play the double and don't stay in the house, that yellow would be shot.
So as we know, during the end, the teams can only do the judgment with their eyes to see which stone is better and also if a stone is still biting or not. As I'm speaking, great shot of Sven Michel with the double, rolling out himself. But still a very nice shot. And only after the end is completely over, an umpire can be called to measure the distance to the center and to define if a stone is still biting the house or which of two stones is closer to the center.
Mer eller mindre, eller?
Ikke noe mindre i hvert fall. Bitte litt mer. Det greit. Dra rundt, så må han slå på vingen.
Now Thomas Ulsrud tries to play his stone in the house to have a second, and probably tries to hide himself behind the red stone. So he's covered.
Jeg tror opp mot 80 skal være fint. 80? Okay. 75-80.
Second last stone of Thomas Ulsrud.
Bra linje.
Bra nærmest om noe.
Bra linje.
Bra nærmest. Linje er bra.
Yes,
They're working hard on it.
Oh yeah.
Linje er bra.
Hvis dere kan bytte, så kan dere gjøre det.
Linje er bra. Hardt.
Kom igjen, få hjem til innsida. Han får dobbel, men. Bra spill, da.
Bra Kostad.
We can see there's a really nice curl from the outside in with the in-turn. He was giving ice middle of the 8 foot and it over-curled the center line. Didn't curl as much as he hoped for, or maybe he was just a bit too short.
Probably didn't curl as much as they thought because they had to sweep a lot. But I would say it's partly covered. Doesn't make it a very easy shot.
It doesn't, but I think another double takeout is there.
Tia! Whoa! Whoa! Tia! Tia!
Oh yeah. Very nice shot of Sven.
Pilene.
So Team Ulsrud now heading for a blank end to keep the advantage of the last rock in the next end.
Jeg trodde jeg skulle få 3.
So if you want to score against Team Michel, you really need to position your stones into the right place. As we just saw, the draw wasn't bad, but just not good enough. It had to be fully covered, or at least almost on the same height as the second rock, to make sure that a double takeout isn't there.
Yeah, and Thomas just managed this blank end, so they're gonna be 4-0 down in the next end, but having the advantage of the last rock at fourth end.
Die ersten beiden Games sind gut gewesen. Nachher 4 Totalausfälle.
So maybe a few information for you about the other games running. As we said before, the tournament is holding 32 teams here at the Swisscup in Basel. You find all the results also online on swisscupbasel.ch. It's a triple knockout system. We're watching the A final game between Team Ulsrud and Team Michel. And there's another A final game going on between Team Snitil from Czechoslovakia against Team Eriksson from Sweden. And here we see the score of that game. That's a very close game. Still in the third end. Team Eriksson with the hammer scored a 1 in the second end, and Team Snitil now with the hammer in the third end.
Eriksson and Snitil are the other two teams that have been unbeaten so far. And exactly as in our game, the winner is going to be qualified for the finals directly.
In the triple knockout system, you always have two teams coming out of the A road to qualify for the playoffs unbeaten. Then you have two teams coming out of the B road. That's actually one game we're going to feature later on today at 5 p.m. We're going to feature one of the B final matches. And you're going to have four teams qualifying out of the C road. That will be later on tonight. We're going to feature also one game of the C road finals at 8:15 tonight.
Central Europe time. And on Sunday, to keep on, we have the quarterfinals starting at 8 Central Europe time, which we're going to feature, and also the semi-finals at 11:15, and the finals at 2:30.
To er greit.
Han har ikke vært pilkongen så langt.
And if you have any questions and comments, Mark has mentioned it before already, we have an email address where you can write us to. The address you can just see on your screen. It's live at curlingchampionstour.org. We're looking forward to any questions about curling, about the players, about the teams, or comments that you have. Also, if you have any preferences of some interviews that you would like to hear. We're going to make some interviews with players and coaches between games. So if you have any preferences, who you would like to see there and what you would like to know from them, we might be able to fulfill your wish.
And you could also post something on Facebook, where we have a group called Curling Champions Tour, and we're gonna take questions and comments from there also, or any wishes for after game or in between game interviews.
Which teams are participating, you can also check on the website of the tournament, swisscup.basel.ch. As I mentioned before, we have 14 Swiss teams competing here, and besides that, 3 Swedish teams, 3 Scottish teams, teams from Russia, Norway, Italy, Germany, France, Finland, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and even one team, Mark Dacey, from overseas, from Canada. So a really nice international field with a lot of curling experience on the ice.
Rent 12. Rent. Nære. Yep. 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 Hard.
And I would like to correct myself. It's Czech Republic. I was looking for the word beforehand and couldn't find the correct name of the country. I'm very sorry about. So let's get back to the game. We're in the 4th end of that A final. There were a lot of rocks in play before, but Team Michel started to clear everything up and to play some nice takeouts again. And Team Ulsrud is really struggling.
Yeah.
We could just see one of the guys throwing his broom away. That's most of the times not a good sign. Or what would you say from your experience, Mark?
I would say, I mean, like if you get twice stolen two rocks, it's quite frustrating, and yeah, sometimes you need to give your emotions some place, but you shouldn't do that on the ice. And I'm a little wondered, because Team Ulsrud is known for their experience. They're playing since a lot of years together, but they don't find their way back into the game. They now have their hammer, but with an empty house, which isn't a very comfortable situation. But as you mentioned before, they don't find their way in this season somehow. They didn't finish very well at the Baden tournament. They struggled at Sweden, and now they are back in Basel, or they are in Basel, and doesn't look very good for them.
Actually, it was the Radisson Blue Oslo Cup they played. So it was in Norway, and they lost the semi-final, so that was quite okay. But of course, from a team like Ulsrud with that experience, you always accept great performances. On the other hand, it's actually quite interesting to see they had a few international championships where they didn't start great and then really came back into the tournament. So it's also a team that really never gives up. And of course here they started great, 3 wins in a row. And we have to say Team Michel is not giving them a lot of chances. They're playing very compact, very solid, very calm, have a good communication going on, and just not leaving a lot of opportunities for Team Ulsrud at the moment. Team Michel now actually quit
Yeah!
their professional work since beginning of September. All of them, they're fully curlers, professional curlers, so to say. And you can see the dedication they put into the game to reach their goals, and I guess so far you can really see the good result it has on them.
Setter vi 3 stein på lokket da, så inn mye. Til linje. Jeg lurer på om syveren min køller ganske mye mer enn åtteren. Jeg tror ikke jeg hadde kølt opp så mye med åtteren. Men syveren her drar ganske mye mer enn den andre, tror jeg. Men det har sett på, altså. Knall.
So that's looking like another blank end coming up. When Michel is going to try to hit and stay or hit and draw to a maybe little different spot in the house, but to make the clearing as difficult as possible to Thomas Ulsrud. And I actually would say a stone at the top 8 foot is probably the most difficult to clear, just because it has the longest way to roll out for both stones.
We saw it in the second end that there is a tricky spot there, which might make it a little more, even more difficult to clear up the house.
Yeah.
But no problems for Thomas. A nice clearing to keep the score 4-0. Coming into the second half of the game, coming into the 5th end.
And still having the advantage of the last rock.
So I guess Thomas's perfect end plan would look like scoring a 2 or 3 now in the 5th end, and then going out for a steal of 1 for the following end. That could still make them come out being the winner of this game, but I'm sure Adelboden has something against it. And they're going to start the game again with Simon Gempeler playing his first rock into the house, probably fully in the 4 foot on the center line.
Yeah, trying to focus the game into the house and to make sure they can remove as fast as possible as many stones of the Norwegians as possible.
Norway, on the other hand, they would like to have a lot of rocks in play. They're going to bring their weight down. They're starting probably with 2 corner guards on either side. Sometimes it's also an option to play a double corner guard on one side. That sometimes can make the double clearing a bit harder, or at least different.
line. Oh. Så godt.
I'm not sure if the two teams played each other this season, but they for sure played each other at the last European Championship in Moscow. They played the third round robin game against each other, where Team Norway came out with a 9-5 win after 10 ends. It was actually quite a close game, but then Team Norway managed to score a 3 with the hammer in the 9th end, and Team Michel couldn't capitalize in the last end. So it was a win for Team Norway, and they went on to win the European Championship and came home with a gold medal.
And now in the 5th end, with a 4-0 down for Team Norway, they changed their tactics. They didn't play the double guards, they played one behind the guard to have at least one stone in the house, but now have to cover it and to protect their own stone.
Køler den steinen mer, eller fikk du en halv stein mer is enn over også?
Så jeg setter det fint av, altså.
Yeah, the guard wasn't very perfect. It doesn't cover the whole stone, but still Team Michel decides to remove the guard again.
Japp. Litt mer fart. Torger!
Ja, det er lenger. Det er 3.
Ok, nå da.
Så blir liggende her inne, og så glir det bedre.
So we have a question that was coming in from Martina from Germany. Hi, Martina. Thanks for your comment. She's enjoying the webcast. Great that we see that we have listeners and spectators also from different countries. So Martina is from Germany, and she would like to know what the teams are actually playing for in that tournament. So Mark, maybe you can say again what is the prize money and what are the teams actually playing for?
Well, the teams are playing for quite a lot of prize money. In the whole pot there's more than 40,000 Swiss francs, and the winner or the winning team is going to take 13,000 Swiss francs, which is quite a lot of money. Second place would then be 7,000 Swiss francs. Third and fourth place each 3,500 Swiss francs. 5th to 8th rank 1,800 Swiss francs. 9th to 12th rank 900 Swiss francs, and still 13th to 18th position still gets 400 Swiss francs. In the total over 40,000 Swiss francs.
And actually it's not only about the money. For example, in Switzerland, the teams also collect very important points with tournaments from the Curling Champions Tour. There's quite a a system behind all that, depending on how many teams competing and how good the teams are actually in the world curling ranking that are competing. The teams can collect points, and these points, they're, for example, now in Switzerland, they are all adding up to the Swiss curling ranking system, and all the points that the teams are collecting over the season will define at the end of the season also, for example, if the team can participate in the European trials, or if the team can actually represent Switzerland internationally. So it's really a very important thing, that ranking system, and not only the money counts, but also the points you collect to be able to maybe play internationally for your country later on in the stage. So thanks, Martina, for your question. For everyone else, please send in your questions. It's live at curlingchampionstour.org.
There's even a ranking system for all the world curling tournaments, giving a winner of the tour, a tour winner at the end of the season.
Er det bedre å spille hardere, eller?
Now a difficult situation for Norway, as Team Michel has shot and second, and they can't move the red one without moving their own yellow stone.
I really like the way Team Michel is playing. They're not playing now a complete defensive game. They're finding a very nice mix to keep up some pressure and not make the shots too easy for Team Ulsrud.
But without giving the Norways too much options or too many options.
Okay.
Nice shot for Norway. They spread their own stones a little and pushed the red ones together so they could play a double later on.
We're up so easy. Wenn es der mitnimmt, finde ich nicht so schlimm. Ist fast noch besser sogar. Ja.
And not too easy to play this takeout for Team Michel.
Ich fände
as
gut
this
auf
is
Centerline
the
weg.
tricky spot we saw before.
Wenn der Weg nachher spielt, bleibt der
And
andere
there's still a
dahinter.
red one behind that could stop the yellow one.
Genau vor dran. Geht noch weh.
Wow! Wow! Weg! Weg!
Sven Michel playing his second last stone and seems to be a little wide.
He didn't want to roll out with the shooter. He wanted to hang around in the house to have a third rock in there and make sure that the yellow Norwegian stone at the back 12 foot is not coming back into the game.
Han var sånn opp nå, var det ikke? Eller så må han gjøre et eller annet fiksfakseri.
But Thomas seems not to remove these red stones right now. He likes to play a freeze, so he's covered or in protected position for Michel's last stone.
The thing is, if he's going to play the double takeout, he's probably going to leave another opportunity for a double takeout for Sven Michel, and we saw him playing these very well just before, so Thomas is going to try to create a more difficult situation for Sven for his last rock. So he's going to try to play in front of these two Swiss rocks. Maybe just on the tee line, or maybe he's even trying to freeze.
Quite a tricky shot as the length and the direction must be perfect. And it seems to curl too much. Ooh. Curl a lot too much, past the red ones.
Yeah, they're really struggling a bit with the ice. It's just not matching at the moment. The weights they play, the ice they're giving, is just not bringing the results they're aiming for.
Especially in the middle of the sheet, they're having a little problems with giving the ice. It's either curling too much or not enough. And if you need to take risks and play offensive, you don't have. You need to play as precise as possible. Now Team Michel has to decide whether they're gonna like to put more pressure by playing in the middle, a third one, protecting their shot stones, or if they try to remove the yellow ones, even try a double.
As they don't really want to steal, they would just like to force. They're going to play a takeout, if possible, a double takeout. But for sure a takeout to lie 3. It wasn't good enough because he's not lying third rock. Even though looking at the situation, the double takeout is also not so easy because there's the chance of jamming on the yellow one at the back.
Not going to be easy to remove the 2 red ones without moving the yellow one. That is third at the moment, at the end of the 8th.
I guess if he wants to be able to make the double, he needs to hit the second rock, the second shot stone rock first.
Probably.
So last rock of Thomas Ulsrud coming up in the 5th end of the Swisscup in Basel of the A-Road final.
I first took the second stone, then the shot stone. He removed the 2 ones. Very nice shot, say. And he scored the 2s that he very, very needed now.
Yeah, that was a nice rock to finish that at end, and 4-2 in the sixth end without the hammer. Of course, it's a difficult situation, but with a couple of very good ends going out for the steals, the possibility is still there for a win.
Bringing him back into the game. I was really needed that he scores now to be back now.
So for everyone who has just tuned in now, we're webcasting live with laola1.tv from the Swisscup in Basel, Switzerland. This is the third tournament of the Men's Curling Champions Tour, and we're showing you at the moment the game of Team Michel from Switzerland against Team Ulsrud from Norway. Both teams have won their first 3 games. It's a triple knockout system, and they're playing now one of the 2 A final games for a direct spot in the playoffs on Sunday. And we're now in the 6th end. My name is Nicole Strausak, and alongside me is Mark Hauser.
It was a difficult start for Norway into the game, where Team Michel scored 2 rocks in the first and second end, and Norway hadn't the chance to score till now, where they were coming back into the game with a very nice shot for 2 points.
Bli lenger! Bli lenger! Litt til lenger! Skørtser! 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 Gå! Good.
Team Ulsrud will now try to steal a stone at least, and they're playing with a lot of guards, with a lot of stones, and taking some risks, while Team Michel tries to remove the yellow stone so that they can't score at all.
Jeg spiller en rette stadig. Hvis det noen forsøk. Akkurat litt over på din side, det kanskje det beste hvis man skal ha vanskelig ting. Det er mer enn nok over. Da er det rett over. Den stoppet ganske bra på slutten der. Sånn ut! Så. Action.
And there's another A-road game running at the moment for a direct qualification to the finals, which is Team Sweden Ericsson against the Czech Republic Snittil, and Ericsson is 4-1 in advantage after he scored a 3 points in the third end, and Now they're playing fifth and with Eriksson having the last rock.
Fin linje. Litt trang. Nei, linja er bra. Linja er bra.
So triple knockout means you're not allowed to lose 3 games, or if you do, then you're out of the tournament. So you keep on in the tournament by not losing more than 3 games. So that means if you're not losing any games, then you play in the A road. That's where we are at the moment. So these teams that we see here on the ice, they have won their first 3 wins. And if they win, or the team that wins the 4th game is going to be in the playoffs tomorrow. The other team will still be in the tournament. It will drop down to the B road. And if the team keeps on winning, they still have a chance to come out into the playoff as a B road winner. And if the team loses a 2nd game, they drop down to the C road. And then you just play more and more games to keep alive and to qualify for the playoff. Of course, it gets tougher and tougher because you, in the triple knockout system, you start to play a lot of games all of a sudden. Like some teams have played yesterday evening, starting a game at 10 o'clock. And the teams who have lost, they played again this morning at around 8 o'clock. So you're going to have a short night if you choose that road. So it's definitely easier to win them all and to go directly to the playoffs. You just have a lot more time to relax, to recover, to regroup, to analyze the games with your coach and define the strategy that you want to play in the next game.
Yeah, and even if you drop down to the B and C roads, if you lose, it might happen that you have to play a game right again. So you won't have any breaks at all, which leads into 4 hours on the ice with tough opponents and a lot of pressure because you're close to the dropping out of the tournament, which doesn't make it easier.
So we have Claudio Paz coming up with his first rock in the 6th end. He's trying to draw behind the corner guard. He wants to stay as 2nd rock. He manages to do so. It just was a bit too long. He wanted to stay in front of that yellow rock in the 12-foot circle. The reason why is it's just going to be much more difficult for Team Norway to remove that rock because it would almost always jam on their own rock. So it curled nicely, but it was just a bit too long, but still a nice result.
Well, now Team Norway with Turger tries to play a hit and roll and to end up in front of these 2 stones. Well, it didn't curl enough, so it stopped in the middle of the house.
Good.
As it's standing now, it's looking good for a 2 for Team Michel in that end. He basically has all he needs. He has a corner guard. He's hidden behind the corner guard with one of his rocks. He's actually having 2 corner guards on both sides. So that's the center is completely open. So he's not taking any risks at the moment. So it's really a end plan as he's wishing for in that 6th end.
But Team Norway has to take some risks as they are 2-4 down. And they thought about playing a freeze on the shot or behind the tee on these two stones in the back of the house.
As it's looking now, it can't be the game plan of Norway to steal. The only game plan, or I have to say end plan, of course, can be to force Team Switzerland to score one. Because to steal, they would really need a nice center guard. They would need a stone in the 4 foot covered behind that center guard, and we just have nothing like that at the moment. So they're going to try to remove the red rock and rolling behind the corner guard. They didn't roll enough though, and just staying open in the 8 foot area.
So finde ich ja nicht so schlecht. Macht einfach den, aber da hast du das 4 Fuß noch auf. Ja. Gerade, das ging noch gut. Nur 10.
And Team Michel will now try an easy hit and stay. They're thinking about rolling a little behind the guard. Mainly just to remove the yellow and to be in a shot position to have the 2 stones to score 2. Well, this one curling very much. That's the plan B, rolling a little and stopping behind the guard.
As we could hear from the sweeping and calling, they didn't want to roll too far behind the corner guard. They actually wanted to leave the stone a little bit open, and the reason why is if they would fully cover behind the corner guard, they would give Team Norway a chance to play a come around behind that corner guard, behind the red stone in the 12 foot at the front, and fully bury behind and corner freeze on the back one of Team Switzerland. And with the way they left the stone half open there behind the corner guard, they took away that chance from Team Norway, or made it much more difficult.
Made it much more difficult as they are trying it right now. Playing between these red stones and to cover from the front and to protect from behind. But it seems to be a little long and didn't curl enough. So again, shot and second for Team Michel with their last stone, and allowing them to go for a 3-point.
I just think I heard Thomas saying, I don't get it. I think they're really not finding their way with the weight, with the ice, with maybe also the different weights on different spots, and really struggling to make their shots working out.
And I think if Michael makes this point, they are 3-7 in front, and it's going to be very tricky for Team Ulsrud to come back with only 2 ends left.
I think that's impossible. The way I see that game going, Team Michel is playing so solid.
Well, there we go.
And there we go, game over.
Thanks, good luck.
Shake hands.
Good luck.
Team
Have a nice day.
Ulsrud decided to end the game and congratulate Team Michel for their very good performance here on the ice. So final result 7-2 for Team Michel, which qualifies directly for the final round.
So that was a bit an abrupt end for us. I will see if I manage to get Sven Michel for a little interview and see if I can find him after they will have played their dolly draw shot. So I'm out of the way and on my way to the ice.
Yeah. While Nicole prepares for their on-ice interview, and you should keep on a moment so you have so you can watch the interview with Sven Michel. Team Ulsrud is now playing one shot for a distance measurement, so they can decide who's going to have the last rock at first end in the next game. So Team Michel again won one of the game, very important one, as they qualified directly for the final round, which consists of a quarter-final, semi-final and the final, and leads them to a prize money of 13,000 Swiss francs if they win the tournament, or 7,000 if they would end up second.
Jeg synes det var glattere utover enn innover.
This game will also be available on Laola 1 TV for watching, and for the ones that are interested in the coming up games, we are going to show a couple of other games today and tomorrow. Mainly there will be the 5 o'clock game today and the 8:15 game today, and there will be all playoff or final rounds for tomorrow on Sunday, with the start at 8, with a game at 11:15 and the finals at 2:30 that we are going to cover live here on Laola1.tv. While Nicole prepares for their interview and tries to get Sven Michel seems they found a spot right now. So I'm giving back, or giving on the ice, to Nicole for her interview with Sven Michel, who was winning the game here in Basel to qualify for the Swisscup final rounds.
Sven Michel, congratulations on a very good win against Thomas Ulsrud. How did you experience the game?
First of all, we had a fantastic start. We played a really good first end, and we can steal two points, and after that we were comfortable to play our game, and had a really good second end, and also can steal 2 more. And after that, after 2 ends, we were really sure that we can win that game.
That's also the impression we had from the outside. You were very compact. You had right away a very good feeling on the ice. You read the ice very well. And was it also the goal for you to start offensive and put Team Ulsrud under pressure right from the start?
Our game plan was a little bit different. We want to play the defensive the first end, but after the first 2 rocks, the rocks lying very good for us, and then we switched. Maybe we can steal a point, and that was the key, I think.
So now triple knockout, you won 4 games in a row, you're qualified for the playoff tomorrow. What's the goal for tomorrow?
Now we're really happy for sure, because we were a little bit struggling in the last 2 competitions in Canada, and now that gives us a really good feeling for tomorrow.
And I mean, you have some experience. You won the Baden Masters just a few weeks ago, and now you have some time off. What are you going to plan to do for the rest of the day?
We don't know yet. So maybe we go to the aqua park, and maybe we watch the A and B and C finals this evening, and we'll see.
So very good. We wish you good luck for tomorrow, and congratulations again.
Call for this interview while Team Switzerland goes to recover in the aqua park. We are going to stay here in Basel at the Swisscups, as we are covering live the Saturday game at 5 o'clock today, and tomorrow at 8:15. And on Sunday, all final games starting at 8, the semi-finals at 11:15, and the finals at 2:30, all Central European time. So thank you very much for having watched in. This was the broadcast of Nicole Strausack and myself, and hope to see you again on the next games.